Hi guys, welcome to our review of The Force Awakens. Now this has been probably one of the best weekends for me, experience-wise, to see the excitement about Force Awakens, to relive my childhood a lot with these old characters coming back to the screen, doing what they do, and it was just it was a great thing to see. How was it for you to be part of this? Because I know that you went to go see it, and to be in that auditorium again, listening to the people and their reactions. What was it like for you to see it again?
Well, you know what's funny is that I had so much built up anticipation for the movie. I was every day, every hour, every minute, I'm thinking I'm that much closer to Star Wars. I'm that much closer to Star Wars. I walked into the theater. Actually, I guess let me back up. So I get to the theater. Nobody's dressed up as Star Wars. So it kind of bones me out a little bit, but it was the South Side. So I figured that if somebody was dressed up on the South Side, we were probably getting robbed. So maybe if I saw a costume, it was going to be a worse thing. So it was kind of happy everybody kind of chilled out about it. But so it's like, I lost
the South Side.
Well, don't dress up because I will. So I get to the theater. And like I said, it's pretty calm. There's no real buzz going on. And I still have this built up tension and stuff like that. And I get inside the theater. And when we got the Star Wars logo come up and the music, the fanfare that goes on with it, I just all released, and it was just like, oh my God, this is perfect. I'm finally gonna see it, and that was my whole thing. So
I think the same excitement that I felt now. Give me a break on this one, all right? But the same excitement that I felt for Phantom Menace when I saw when I hit the John Williams score hit, the title screen came up, and the scroll happened back like that, like it happened in '99. But this time it was more authentic because it was the continuation of Jedi. So it really affected me a lot on that. So it was a great movie, and today we're actually going to talk a little bit about it. Now, super fanboy over here has got a laundry list of things. A laundry list of things about this movie. So Terrence, you're talking about anticipation?
Okay.
I'm anticipating this because you have been talking about it, building it up so much. Now, first, let's
take topics.
Yeah,
I'll go on a tangent. Don't let me start that way. Give me something to focus on, and I'll direct my rant to that.
What did you like about the movie?
What I liked about the movie, I liked the first thing that I liked, Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren was the best thing of this movie, and I know people had some issues with Kylo Ren, but I didn't find not one flaw with Kylo Ren. I thought going into this movie we were just gonna get a Vader clone. He is not a Vader clone. He is everything but a Vader clone. Obviously, he's a fanboy of Vader, which we got from the movie. But I like the simple fact that we didn't have to worry about him being, hiding his disfigurement under a helmet just like Vader did. I mean, he was perfectly fine on it. He only wears it because Vader wore it. He basically owns the they owned up to okay, I want to be Vader. He freaks out when he's upset. Vader was always calm, collective. He dealt with it, and if you messed up, that was your behind. There was no second time for you to mess up. With Kylo, he'd spaz out. Obviously because he's young, and two, he's not as in control of the Force as Vader was. So I mean, he would have freakouts, and I absolutely love it. I was like, there's somebody flawed.
He's basically Anakin in Attack of the Clones.
Yes.
Towards the end, if you would have put Hayden Christensen in the Darth Vader suit in Attack of the Clones, you would have had Kylo Ren, basically.
Basically, if he'd have done Obi-Wan's holding me back, that'd have been perfect. That'd have been perfect. He'd have been Anakin then.
Yeah. I thought Adam Driver's performance as Kylo Ren was great. He did put a lot into it. I mean, you can just see well, first of all, let me just say right now, there's going to be a lot of spoilers in here. So if you have not seen the movie, please don't watch, because we're going to talk a lot about stuff that happened. So
we're like 5 minutes too late for that.
Yeah, well, I don't care. I'm just going to say it right now. Just turn it off. But yes. So anyway, we talked about it on The Goods, and I was telling you about how he was a disciple of Vader, and that's exactly what he is.
Right.
And it was based on the fact that he is his grandfather. Mm-hmm. That Darth Vader is his grandfather. So I liked how they went that route with it. The only thing I didn't like about it, and like I said, please, it's a spoiler, but I hated the tantrums. I couldn't stand the freaking tantrums he threw.
The tantrums were great.
No, I did not like it. I did not like the tantrums.
Okay, would you have preferred he would have been Vader and just killed that guy?
No, but I just
what did you want different?
He did it. Okay, I think once was enough.
Like, don't let it happen again.
He did it twice. He threw a tantrum twice.
Well, that's his nature.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. I mean, I have to recognize. I had to recognize myself that he's still like a 20-year-old kid.
Yeah.
And I understand. And this is actually just the beginning.
Vader was probably 40. He was a man. I'm a man. I'm 40.
Another thing that I really liked about it, besides Kylo Ren, because I really did like Kylo Ren also, but a lot of the nostalgia that Abrams did, and bringing all that back, and it really, and it's been an ongoing topic here. It really mirrored the first one. It really mirrored A New Hope, and there were some changes here and there. Yes, but there was just Abrams kind of like took the nostalgia from the 1977 one, and he played with it a little bit. He gave you some of the same things that were happening in the original Star Wars, but then he changed it up and made some changes of his own to give the new generation his take on it.
And I probably would have had it, because I know some people did have problems with that it mirrored the original trilogy a lot. I probably would have had that issue too, but you saw that already in the trailer. They already let you know that it was going to have a lot of those themes. So I was fine with it. I was already expecting it to be that way. And one of the things that people complain about is that the original trilogy was nothing like, the prequels were nothing like the original trilogy. So basically, they gave us what we wanted to see. We wanted to revisit the themes and stuff of we wanted heroes. We wanted some with shades of gray in those heroes, and we wanted them to move on. We didn't want Trade Federation anymore. We didn't want political background and all that.
Was
stuff
it 50 Shades of Grey?
Well, anyway, that's another movie. That's another movie you don't hate. I guess out of that, the other thing that I like Rey and Finn's relationship, and it was like, I thought it was genuine. I thought it was a relationship that kind of built at a breakneck pace, because the movie was really, really fast, and I bought it by what they were going through and how they interacted with each other. I kind of bought it, because a lot of times when they're just throwing two people together and it was like, oh, I kind of care for you, I've known you 20 minutes, and this was like, hey, I met you, I barely kind of know you, boom, we're in this thing and this pressure, and we're doing everything to make sure we take care of each other. And it seemed like Finn genuinely cared about somebody, and basically, spoilers, his nature is that he cared about people. He didn't want to see bad things happen to him. So I bought how they built up their relationship, and how they didn't go overboard about the caring, but they did show that they actually did have something going on.
Well, I think the best thing about it too was that they didn't go the romance route.
Yeah.
Like you said, they showed that they genuinely did care for each other, but it wasn't something that was going to be romantic. Much like in the first prequel trilogy, there was a lot of romance involved in that. It was a slight tone there of romance. Now,
you bought it because Han was a bad boy.
But at the same time, I'm talking about the prequel trilogy with Anakin.
Oh, the prequel. They had to do that.
Right, and that's why I get it that a lot of people didn't like those prequel trilogies because of the romance part, but it was actually really important to the story of where it was going. Right. So for this one, there was some tension there. You could see that there's some attraction. There's some attraction between Rey and Finn, and there is that I don't want to say sexual tension, but there is that.
It was PG movie.
It was. Well, anyway, but what I was saying is that they didn't have to dive all into the whole thing. It was a subtle build, much like the Leia and Han relationship, and it was subtle. So hey, maybe in the future we'll see something like that. Now, the one thing that they talked about a lot before this movie came out was that they were going to completely take away from the expanded universe. That it was not going to be done. Disney want no part of it. They build like all these books, they wrote all these books and comics and all this other stuff, and Disney was like, nah, I don't want it. But yet they did take some stuff from the expanded universe by having the solo.
They would be crazy not to, because it's a whole bunch of ideas that you get to play with and pick and choose whatever you want to do with. So to discount it altogether, they're like, we're not gonna follow it, but we can pick and choose what we want. So, I mean, of course they're going to do that. I mean, because it helps them write the stories.
Another thing that I liked a lot about it was the space. I mean, not the space. The ship battles. The battle scenes with the ships.
Because there's no wars in Star Wars.
There's no more Star Wars, but this was awesome because you know, especially when they're like through the water. I've never seen an X-wing fighter through the water like that. You know, besides Luke crashing in a Dagobah, I've never seen the freaking the X-wing fighters be that close to water, and there's just a lot of it that was cool. Another shot that I really liked was the TIE fighters coming out from the sun in the background.
Oh yeah,
very Black Hawk Downish. You know, very.
It's, what's the war movie that not Black Hawk Down?
Apocalypse Now.
Apocalypse Now.
There was a lot of that kind of you know, vintage war you know, essence about it. So I really liked that shot. That shot was cool, and I mean, there's a lot of great cinematography on this thing.
Staying with you with the
X-wing fighters.
X-wing fighters. Sorry. with the battles, the Star Wars battles. Poe Dameron.
Yeah, Oscar Isaac delivered. That's all I gotta say. And I didn't even realize that General Hux was the other guy from Ex Machina.
Oh, really? I didn't even notice it.
Yeah,
he totally came off as a different character.
My wife actually brought that up. I didn't even realize it, but yeah, that's the other guy from Ex Machina. So where was Alicia Vikander? I have no idea. She should have been a droid or something. That would have been awesome.
But one of the things that Star Wars has always preached in the original trilogy and prequel trilogy, you know, I'm a gifted pilot. We actually got to see a gifted pilot, and because with the original trilogy, we got to see Luke, and basically all he did was make a trench run, and then he was in the snowspeeder that got shot down.
But in the original movie, he had barely gotten into a ship. You know?
Right. I mean,
before that, it was just on the.
We didn't get to see gifted pilot. We got to see Anakin. We saw basically one kind of
pod race, in the pod race, and at the end,
you know, he was just pushing buttons.
Yeah.
So I mean, outside of the only real gifted pilot that we've ever really seen in Star Wars is really Vader, when Vader was picking off X-wings when he was shooting them down.
Han, come on, you gotta. All right.
Well, that's a stretch, but we actually got to see what a BA X-wing pilot is, and Poe Dameron definitely is. Like when he went and shot down, like, what is he, 3 or 4 TIE fighters that he shot down?
He shot down
by himself, without a sweat broken, and I was like, that was totally cool.
Yeah, the kind of one of the things that I didn't like.
Are we on dislikes yet, or are we still on likes?
You want to go on? Let's go on dislikes real quick.
Okay, so now we're gonna move on.
Okay, if you want to stay on likes.
No, I'm just saying. Did you have anything else?
Well, let's just talk about Daisy Ridley.
Okay.
You know what? Why does she reminded me so much of Christina Ricci at times? I don't know why. I just thought it was like Christina Ricci and Kate Beckinsale put together, and that was Daisy Ridley. That's what I thought. Beautiful girl, but you know, she really held her own on that, and the naiveness and all of that Mark Hamill played in the original. I saw that with her.
Yeah, definitely.
I saw that with her a lot. But the callbacks that, you know, where she's actually living in an AT-AT, you know, that was cool.
And for you Star Wars purists, an AT-AT.
AT-AT, I don't care. Anyway, but yeah, that was really cool. And the scavenger part, all that, that's just the way she played it, man. I just think that she carried the movie for being an unknown, and to carry that kind of a project. I mean, that's just commendable on her part.
No, I love Daisy Ridley in this movie. If it was going to be a weak point to this movie, it was going to be her. Almost in the sense of episode 1, where we had somebody that was, you know, unknown, that wasn't really in much, you know, having the bulk of the movie be based around them. So if all the focus is on you, and if you don't bring it, then it's gonna reflect in the movie. So she did a great job. The only thing, it's like the minor, I was being so critical when I was watching the movie. The minor thing that I had with her was that everything she ran weird. she ran with like her shoulders. It was really bothering me, and I was like, okay, well, people run differently.
They run in the sand, bro. You know how hard it is to run in the sand?
I will make sure I use my shoulders next time I run in the sand. I'm sorry. She obviously has a technique for it. But other than that, Daisy Ridley was great in this film. What else did you like about it?
I
didn't even take my drink.
To see Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher on the screen again.
Okay.
And to still see that chemistry that they have after all these years.
Yeah.
It was really good to see. It took me back more to Empire than it did to Jedi or even A New Hope, because they
Empire really showed the emotion between them two.
The emoji, yeah. So that's what I really felt from it, and I don't want to see. I'm scared to spoil anything. I mean,
we can, if it's something that where you want to, we can deal with that.
I think everybody knows a lot of things, but anyway.
I mean,
there's a part in the movie.
We're already spoiling stuff. To say it.
Okay. When she fell down and when she felt Han.
When she felt him die.
When she felt him die, that hurt. Not hurt me, but it made me emotional a little bit. I walked out of that theater emotional. Like I wanted to cry, and like I was mad, and but I knew that he had to die. I mean, Ben Kenobi died. Who else died? That was important. Qui-Gon died.
Somebody always
Yoda died. Somebody always has to pass, and it just Han was the heart and soul, I think, of the Star Wars movies, and for him. Now, whether or not he's in Episode 8, I don't know. We'll talk about that later. But just to know that he's not there right now, and that just pained me. I mean, I remember in '83 when he was in Carbonite, that by itself, and now. So anyway,
last thing that I liked was BB-8.
No, I didn't like BB-8.
Oh man, okay, hold up. So BB-8,
you're talking all that trash. He's a soccer ball with a head,
and he totally sold me on being a soccer ball with a head. I don't. The design aside, it was like they gave him so much emotion. It was like when you're watching R2 and R2 with his beeps and boops and stuff like that. R2 showed emotion, but it was such comedic emotion that came from BB-8. When he did the whole when Finn was telling him basically kind of lie for him, and it was like, go ahead.
Oh, with the lighter. That was funny. The lighter,
or no, even the whole part where he looks at him and he looks at her like
that was funny.
See, that part was funny. And it was like when he thought Poe Dameron was dead. And he kind of just walked away after he was already attacking Finn, because he last saw him with him, because he had that piece. And it was like, there's so much came from BB-8, and I think BB-8 kind of stole a little bit of the movie. And so that was the last part that I liked about it.
I like him rolling around with the Millennium Falcon. And that was an awesome thing. That's another thing that I love to see, was the Millennium Falcon back on the screen. I freaking loved that part. Okay. Just to see it, even though Han wasn't flying it for a little bit, yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome to see it. So that was some of our likes. There's a little bit more to it, but I would really want to get to the dislikes here.
All right, let's move on to the dislikes.
So there aren't that many.
Okay.
Now we just talked about Kylo a little while ago, and it just seemed like Adam Driver, even though he did a good job. Dude, he looks nothing like either one of them. Who the hell does he look like? What side of the family? What did Solo's dad look like? Or what did, he don't look nothing like either one of them.
Maybe, look. I say this all the time. This is a movie. This is a movie that's in space that deals with the Force. And the one thing you question,
you don't look nothing like her. I'm just kidding. No, just the whole, how he was just a whiny brat. That's what he reminded me of. Honestly, flat out. And relax. No, I own it. I know what the story arc is. Okay. I know he's actually going to be better in 8 and practically unstoppable in 9. That's my prediction. And you can right now. I'm saying it right now.
I was going to say that Luke was a whiny brat. Anakin was a whiny brat. Why can't Kylo Ren be a whiny brat?
That's a good point. Snoke. Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't have a problem with Snoke. The only thing about it is that he pulled the Palpatine thing where, Palpatine was in the shadows with the hologram and stuff like that. And it was like, you didn't get to make his grand entrance until the next movie.
But, okay, when we were watching the Indiana Jones, the King of the Crystal Skull, and we saw that alien at the end, that's what Snoke looked like. He looked like that alien. I didn't.
So you really wanted him to look like Plagueis?
No, not necessarily. I would have preferred that he had the freaking cloak on, for one.
Okay. It would have made him too much Palpatine.
No, well, that was going to happen regardless. That's going to happen. It already is. All right. It's already happened already. So, but I didn't like, and I love Andy Serkis, and his motion capture stuff is good, but what
was the purpose for motion captioning if they're going to put you down as a hologram? It didn't really make it. That didn't make sense.
That I didn't care for.
All right. My dislikes. Let's see. And I know I talked about like the comedy that came from BB-8, But in the original, and I hate comparing this stuff to the original trilogy because it's not the original trilogy, but in the original trilogy, it wasn't kind of like, they weren't doing stand-up. If something was happening that was funny, it was because it was in the context of the scene or what was going on, that thing was funny. And in this, it almost seemed like they were on stand-up and they were telling jokes left and right. And, you know, Rey was telling jokes, Finn was telling jokes, Han was telling jokes, freaking Kylo going ballistics and the stormtroopers backing up. It was a joke every 5 minutes, and I know it made the movie funny, but I kind of wanted a more serious tone.
Well, I think it'll be later.
I'm sure the next movie will probably be a little bit more serious.
I mean, you gotta remember, the whole thing with this being a reboot / sequel, you know, you got to start from the beginning with these new characters. You know, everybody has an origin, and these are theirs.
Yeah,
this is their origin, so you got to take it for what it is. And in all honesty, what origin movie is really like the best ever? I mean, it's very rare you get a really good origin story. Godfather was great. All right, exception to the rule. All right.
Next thing I didn't like was Captain Phasma was so underused.
Bad. A lot like Boba Fett. And you made that comment.
Worse than Boba Fett.
But you made that comment. But you made the comment in
that she was kind of be the new Boba Fett. She was going to be the new Boba Fett.
And yeah, she was. She's kind of like Boba Fett.
But the difference is that when you saw Boba Fett, you know, okay, barely off to the side, had something to do, did his thing, was out of the movie, right? This was Boba Fett from. This was even worse than Boba Fett from Return of the Jedi, where it was like, hey, I'm on here. I'm gonna go after you. Fell in the Sarlacc pit. Done with the movie. This was like, hey, I'm a badass. Hey, we got a gun on you. Turn off the shields. Okay, shields are off. We're gonna put you in a sanitation thing, and that was so that was my problem with it. And it was like, it was a built-up character, and they really sold me on the character, and then they did nothing. I'm assuming that there was more footage that they maybe cut out because of runtime.
Actually, yeah, really they did. They did cut some stuff out,
but it made her look so unimportant.
Yeah. And do you think in the special editions she'll be?
I hope so.
You think no, but in the special edition, you think that she'll be, you know, macking the dudes or something like Boba Fett was in Jabba's palace? No, but you're right. Yeah, she was very underused. You know, I mean, the way they had her in the trailer and all that, you thought that she was going to really be like the right-hand man.
I thought she was flaming people down with the flame troopers and stuff.
And the General Hux, kind of like the Peter Cushing role in A New Hope.
Yeah, he was basically their Tarkin.
Their Tarkin. This is like the new Tarkin, because the way he was, like, you could sense that tension between him and Kylo for power, and it was, I don't know, it was.
But see, that was kind of one of my likes, because in Tarkin, it almost seemed like I'm the boss, and you know, you will acquiesce to me, Vader. Whatever I tell you, you're gonna do. You're gonna carry out my will. In this one, it felt like, and it was a different thing, a relationship between them two, because it seemed like Hux was kind of jealous or didn't respect Kylo, and they were kind of battling. So kind of like a little struggle for power between them, or favor from Snoke.
But they're both young too, so
yeah. You know, so
they're kind of competing too.
I kind of like that.
I don't know.
Because it kind of
made Kylo look weak. Though.
I thought when it was in the original prequels with Vader, I thought it made Vader look weak versus Tarkin.
Yeah. Touche.
All right. What's the next thing that you dislike?
Actually, the Starkiller base. Like,
okay.
How many freaking of these damn things do we gotta blow up?
Dude, it works. They destroy planets.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't.
But how many times did the freaking rebellion have to, like, okay, this is their third one. You didn't even get to finish the second one, and now you made this one that's actually bigger than the freaking original Death Star, and they blow that up too.
My thing is that stop putting the way to blow up the planet in the same spot. Why does it spread out?
They'll never get this time.
You need to disable this. You need to turn that off. You need to blow up that.
Yeah.
You need to
yeah. And how does this stuff get leaked out too? Who do they? You know, are they pissing off employees? And, you know, I'm gonna get them.
They have a number. I mean, are you an ex-First Order soldier?
Exactly. So we really like to hear your likes and dislikes on all the movies. What really captured you? Like, you know, the passion. Did it help you get that passion back for Star Wars? Did it kind of like steer you off? Or we really like to know. Please leave your comments below and let us know what you think. Right. Now, the theories about this movie, we had a lot of theories, and now, you know, now it's out. So it's almost one of those things where people are going to rewatch it and watch it and watch it just to get a theory of what's going to happen in episode 8. You know, all of the online, you go online, we looked up so we can look at Star Wars, to look up Force Awakens. And we got more or less a little bit of the things that, that were spoilers that came true, right? So now our new theories. What do you think is going to happen in episode 8?
Okay. In episode 8, I think like in the original trilogy where it started off on Hoth and stuff like that, Ben told him, go to Dagobah, Yoda needs to train you. Obviously we saw at the end with a great moment with Luke and Rey when they got together. Obviously she made that journey all the way to him because she wants to, know more of the Force. So I assume that she's going to be sidelined in episode 8 with being trained by Luke. Snoke asked for Kylo to finish his training. He's going to be sidelined. Obviously, there'll be a meetup somewhere in the movie, but they're going to be sidelined for the most of the movie. And I think the majority of the movie will be because they made it seem like it was so important that that Finn left the First Order. I think this is where we're going to see a bigger part of Captain Phasma, where she's actually going to be hunting down.
And I was going to say the exact same thing.
Yep. She's going to be hunting down Finn. We're going to see way more Poe Dameron because he had great moments in this, but I think we could have used more out of him with the Rebellion. I think we're going to see more or Resistance. I'm sorry, with the Resistance.
The Rebellion. It's cool.
With the Resistance this time, we're going to see Finn and get incorporated into it for real this time. And like I said, I think it's going to be more Captain Phasma, more General Hux. Mm-hmm. Those are going to be your two bads, and it's going to be Poe and it's going to be Finn with the Resistance this time. And I think it's going to be more of that, and then we're going to be seeing, just like we saw with Luke and Yoda, with Rey being trained, and we're going to now see a Sith being trained.
Do you think that that Rey was there to learn about the Force, or was she just there to give him back his life?
Oh no! You don't come back. Look, we searched the map. We dug up a whole galaxy map.
Way hell over here just to give you this.
Hey, I'm sorry, you left this at Maz Kanata's. I just thought you might want it back. I'm gonna get out of here with BB-8.
Yeah, Chewie says hi. Han's dead. Sorry. Please, gotta go. You like the Falcon? I put rims on it.
So she's definitely gonna get trained. There's no way around that particular one. That's gonna happen. That's what I figured was gonna happen in episode 8. And just like we heard recently in news articles, Kathleen Kennedy says the whole cast is coming back anyway. So
and speaking of, Daisy Ridley's already said that and a lot of people that have read it have said the episode 8 script is way better than the Force Awakens. That it is.
I hope so.
Very,
I hope it's
very good.
Empire. I hope it's Empire Strikes Back
of this generation. Yeah. And then I feel the same way. And it's so funny how this one actually ended literally on a cliffhanger.
Oh, they all ended on a cliffhanger.
No, but they were really on a cliff.
Oh.
All right. So theories on you really think that the training, you think it's going to go that route where Luke's going to train her the way Yoda, or it's going to be a little bit more intense because she has no idea about this gift that she just got, and she's and we were talking about it on the Good Show about what was the Force Awakens, what did that title mean? That's Rey. Mm-hmm. The Force Awakened in her. She's the Force Awakens.
I have some stuff about that in my theory.
All right. Well then, Terrence.
Wait. Okay. So we're gonna go full theory now.
I want to hear it.
Okay. So that was what we thought for episode 8. This is what. Okay. So obviously in the movie, if you watch the movie already, because now we've already spoiled it for you. But the themes of that movie, we find out Kylo is Han and Leia's son. He's Ben Solo. And but we don't really find out who's Rey's parents are. We know she's left on a planet by herself. She mentions that they're coming back to get me. Maz Kanata says who you're waiting for is not coming back to get you. They're not coming back. You need to make your way on your own. And then they give all these little themes, like they give you the helmet that she put, the Rebellion helmet. They show you that when she touches the lightsaber, she gets these flashbacks. They show you that. So.
And Ewan McGregor's in there.
She grew up on a desert planet. Yeah, Ewan McGregor's voice. She hears that. She grew up on a desert planet. You obviously saw that she's strong with the Force. She's living the same parallels as Anakin and Luke.
Yep.
She's a pilot. Both were pilots. None of them knew their parents.
Do you think that she's following the path of Anakin, or do you think Kylo's following the random path?
Well, that's still up in the air. So, but
go ahead.
I want to say, so in the movie, they basically push it down your throat. She's Luke's daughter, and especially when you see the last scene where he looks like, oh crap, I owe child support. Hashtag deadbeat Jedi.
Deadbeat dad. You called it deadbeat dad.
So they make you feel like, damn. That's he sees his daughter again.
I honestly really think that she's a Solo.
I'm gonna say you're wrong. Because
it's too obvious.
It's too obvious.
No, it's too obvious that she's Luke's daughter.
It's too obvious. JJ would not do that.
I just think that he would throw a freaking,
and obviously so
throw him somewhere else and just say that it's that was actually Han's daughter that he didn't know.
All right, so the best twist of ever.
Wait, no, you're right, because I'm sorry, because they're not the twins, because then he would have known that she was born too, and yeah, right. I get it.
So the best twist in the history of ever is that when we found out Vader was Luke's father. All right. So why would they not try to give us a good twist again and say what? And mislead us? What they're gonna say is that not that they were twins, but she is Kylo's sister. It's Kylo's little sister. And the reason why I say this is, and this is where I feel like they're gonna go with it. Nobody really knows. Obviously, Leia didn't really say like, "Hey, my daughter," but Han had this whole thing where he was like, "Hey, we kind of have the same," and I think those are the hints we should have paid attention to. We're having the same thoughts. You really pick up the whole ship.
She picked up the Falcon pretty quickly too.
Those are the hints we should have paid attention to, and we should have paid attention to how Kylo says, like, Kylo already knows who she is. He had no doubt of who she was. He made a mention to her, and it's like, "I don't understand why you're so special."
I'm telling you, bro.
So what I'm saying is
sister.
that
she's not Luke's dad. Luke's daughter.
When they showed Kylo in the Knights of Ren, murdering whatever Jedi temple that Luke had set up, I think Snoke had actually had him go kill everybody, and Luke was still training his sister, his little sister too. And I don't think, because he was always battling with the light inside.
But she was little though. But she was little when she was saying come back, and the ship was
but I'm gonna get to that in a theory.
Okay, all right.
So I don't think because he was still battling the light. He was still battling the light inside, and I don't think he could murder his sister. So I think what he did is like, I'm going to make you forget, seal off the Force in you, drop you off on a planet where nobody can find you. Because
you're saying Kylo Ren put her there?
Yes, because why would Han and Leia do it? Why would Luke do it? Like I said, hashtag deadbeat Jedi, but why would they do that?
But why would okay, well, first of all, when they hug at the end, when Leia and her hug at the end, that's a motherly hug.
Yeah, I know, but so
and why would she say may the Force be with you to her, But
I mean, they say to everybody.
I know, but why as far as a Han goes though, wouldn't he have like some kind of
that's what I said. He kind of felt the vibe there. He didn't acknowledge. But you don't think he would know? You don't think he'd know his own daughter? Or you think that much years had passed? They thought she was dead.
Okay.
He just hid her away. All they know is that Kylo killed everybody.
Okay.
Because Luke escaped,
but they didn't say our little girl. They
never said that we didn't have a little girl. They just, if he's like, hey, if your daughter died and you're like the only thing you have left is your son, and she was like, bring our son home, is because like, look, my daughter's died, my daughter's dead. I need to figure out.
So that's something that you don't like. They don't necessarily have to bring up because let's say away from the camera, they've already said that. They don't have to.
Okay, so I got you. So like he didn't kill, and that's the reason why he didn't kill her when he met her the first time in the forest. And I think that's why he was back in her head again. I mean, they showed that he had power to, mess with people's minds. I think he was obviously trying to figure out where that piece was at, but he could shut her down again. And the one thing that happened when she noticed, he got scared when she started to feel the Force, when it was finally awakening her, when she started to feel the Force, he got scared, realized how powerful she was, which made him kill Han, because he knew he needed to take the last step towards the dark side to get
as
more
powerful than her.
To get as powerful as Vader, because he already knew she was stronger.
Right. Okay, I got you.
So that's my theory. It's like, and I think that's the twist we're gonna have, is that they're gonna go back. They told you like, no, they're not brother and sister. They're gonna come back and say, yeah, we are brother and sister, and I was the one that saved you, but now we're gonna battle.
I saved you.
Yeah. It's like,
I put you there.
I am your brother.
I am your brother.
I am your brother.
It'd be kind of cool, but
I don't want to hear I'm your father again. It's like, we already done that already. It's like, well, I'm your brother.
I'm your father's cousin's brother's former roommate. What does that make us? Absolutely nothing.
All right, so and that's my theory going in through the rest of this trilogy.
Okay, Well, it's going to be interesting if it goes that route. You know, having that sibling rivalry and where it pretty much culminates at the end, and they have to fight each other.
I think that's a better rivalry than cousins.
Yeah, that's very true. I think brother and sister would actually be a better rivalry, especially now that she saw him kill Han.
Yeah,
and when she finds out the truth, then why not? And then, now let me ask. Let me throw this at you. I want to ask you if this is about this. There was a like a part that would kind of like a different part of this, how it played out, and that was that they killed Leia. That they kill Leia instead.
Okay.
And they keep Harrison Ford. I mean, they keep Han alive, and Harrison Ford comes back, and then it's him, Rey, Finn to go after Kylo for killing Leia. Do you think that would have been a better route? Oh yeah, and then getting Luke back, and then them avenging Leia. Do you think that would have been a better route, or do you think them?
I think that'll pull focus away from Rey.
True, but I mean, it might have been done too much where you avenge, you know, like, oh, my lost love, but it kind of they kind of twisted it that way when they actually have Han die instead of Leia. Because it's still his friend, it's still Luke's friend, so they could still avenge Han. But do you think that it would have been a better way to kill Leia first?
No, because Han would have went after him. Han would have went after him, and Han would have done that. You know, Leia. You know, I mean, as strong as Leia is, she's a general now. She's a general now. She has things that she's responsible for. And yeah, she's old, but she has other things that she's responsible for the whole resistance. Killing Han, you know, it's like I said, she can't go. Kill Leia, Han don't got no responsibilities. He can focus all his attention to going after Kylo. Then Kylo's gonna have to kill him too. Dude, you'd have lost them both.
Well, I think that's gonna happen.
I mean, it's eventually, but that's further down the line. Okay. So, are we done with theories?
We're done with theories. Well, there's one thing. Well, yeah, we're done with theories. Let's talk about characters real quick.
Okay.
Luke's appearance. Were you satisfied?
I mean, this is what I expected.
I expected him to have a little bit. I mean, at least say hello. You know, something. Hello.
No, because they didn't. I mean, because if he'd have talked, then you had to figure out. Whoa, what was he gonna say? What was this conversation mean? It would have had to meant something.
It ended right in that regard to carry it on, because you know that this is an ongoing thing. So right. You're gonna have 8, you're gonna have 9. I mean, you gotta end it that way. I get it, but it would have been nice to see more Kylo. And then he gets freaking top billing too. Like, I would have liked to see him for a little bit longer. Yeah, I don't know. All right, Finn got taken from it as a baby. Mm-hmm. Is there might be Force sensitive? Do you think he's Windu?
No.
You think he's a descendant of Windu at all?
No, because Windu died a long time ago.
A descendant. That's why I said
they don't take families. They don't take wives. They don't have kids. Remember, this is forbidden.
Yeah, but this is Samuel Jackson.
He was Jedi Master.
Jedi Master, baby. Exactly.
So that's too far to say that. It's like he was a master on the council. They weren't supposed to have families. They weren't supposed to have attachments, because remember, that leads to fear. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to
but I just don't want it to be like
anger leads to suffering.
I just don't want Lando to be the father.
I don't want Lando to be. I just want him to be.
Then we have to cast Maury.
Other black family in a galaxy. We can have more than 2 black families in a galaxy. I'm sorry.
Maury?
What?
Would we get Darth Maury?
To say you are the father. They should do that for the Skywalkers right now. Oh, no. Speaking of Finn, somebody made a mention to me, and I'm sorry if we're going on too long with this, but somebody made a mention to me. So Finn gets a heart. He's on the kill death squad that's on the ship, because that was what they were. They were a kill squad to go out there with Kylo. They was like, you guys are all coming with me on this mission. They pull him out there. It's the first time he's ever been on this particular type of squad. Why did they pull him if he's a sanitation person? Doesn't make any sense. Hey, you guy, put away the trash. Hey, grab your rifle. Come on, we're about to go kill some rebels. So,
and why does the brother have to be in sanitation? in the galaxy far away, why does the brother still have to be in sanitation?
So they pull him. They put him on everything. He's trying to use weapons, right? Because he used weapons. They proved that in the movie, and they were like, he's trying to use weapons. And then the first time, so they put a guy who's never been out there, who's never acted up, while all of a sudden, through all the training that they put you through, the indoctrination that they put you through, while all of a sudden does this moment, because you shot before, I'm sure they gave you targets. I'm sure these are the people you're going to shoot at. Why is it right now, does it now trigger him to say, I can't do this anymore?
Right.
So it was a little. I know it was for the point of the movie, but it just seemed a little weird to kind of. They could have focused a little bit more on the plot with him, or the character developed from him. It'd have been better if they just said like, oh, you know what, he's been breaking the programming all the time. We had to reprogram all the time, so this wouldn't be out of the ordinary to say like, okay, yeah, this is something that normally happens for him where he just doesn't obey us.
Right. I think Boyega played it pretty good.
No, I mean he did what he was supposed to do. I have some problems with his character, with the way they designed his character.
But I think a lot of that a lot of his character will have a little bit more depth once we get further into the trilogy. But for the first time around, especially him being that I've heard is just attack the block, and for this to be his major big role. Yeah, he did pretty good. He carried.
He did great.
All of them did. All the unknowns did. They all did great. I'm with you on Poe Dameron. I hope they do expand his role a little bit.
Yeah.
Because
I totally expect that in the next movie.
because Oscar Isaac's awesome. So, how did you overall? You excited?
Overall, obviously the movie has a few flaws. Not as much as people kind of, because I think everybody's fearful of saying, "Oh, I love the movie," and have it be like it comes out of
just the internet trolls, man.
Yeah, no, the Phantom Menace thing, because people like I posted a video before that showed when people came out of the theater from the Phantom Menace, and everybody loved that movie, and now it's one of the most hated Star Wars movies ever.
Oh, like Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah,
Dark Knight Rises, the same thing. Everybody was all clapping, and then.
I think everybody's so afraid of that happening again that now everybody just wants to jump on the flaws that it had. It had flaws. It wasn't a perfect movie, but I mean, the movie was still a really, really good movie.
It was awesome.
There's very few movies that are absolutely perfect. This was not one of the movies that was absolutely perfect, but it's way better than any of the three prequels, and it's fighting neck and neck with me on with Jedi.
Okay, would you change your ranking?
It's between for that Jedi spot.
Well, for me, it is actually. I would still go Empire, Star Wars, the original, and then The Force Awakens. That's number 3, and then Revenge of the Sith. And you're still hating me on that, and then Jedi after that. But yeah, so it was really great.
No. Yeah, other than that, the movie's great. I can't watch. I can't believe I haven't seen it a second time. Scheduling, editing videos,
jobs, families.
But I can't wait to get out and see it again. The minute I do, I can actually sit down and not be critical about it, and I can actually just soak it all in.
We are really interested to hear what you guys have to say about this movie. I hope to God that you guys already saw this movie and watch the show, because we really hate to be the ones to spoil it. But
I'm gonna put spoiler on the tag, so like if you still clicked on it, then it's your own fault.
Anyway, comments below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Who were your favorite characters? Do you see the resemblances between the original trilogy and these? Tell me my theory about Rey is right. Yeah, is right. What did you think? I'm the only one that's still on this side with this. Trust me, I'm right. Hashtag I am your brother. I said that too, though. I said that
twins. This is not gonna be twins.
Okay, fine. They're not twins, but they're brother and sister. They're brothers and sisters.
Older brother, younger sister.
The reason I say twins is because the expanded universe is solo twins. But okay, fine.
He's gonna change it.
All right, so fine. Anyway, let's hear what you got to say about Terrence's comments. Okay.
All right. Yeah, put it down in the comment. Let us know. So and don't forget to subscribe and like this video, so that way we know what we're doing is right, and if there's anything else that we can do that you guys might be interested in doing, please comment on that too. You can also find us on our social media sites. On Twitter, we're on at The Goods Podcast, and on Facebook, it's facebook.com/The Goods Podcast. So how do you want to end this?
I'm Manny.
And I'm Terrence.
See you next time.
All right.
You're stupid.
We should probably never stop recording.
I know, right? We're that dumb.
The things you guys miss out on when we hit pause.
Yep. All right, ready?
Yeah.
Tell me when.